Muses! I wanted to come on quickly today because, actually, to be honest, I wanted to come on because I was not feeling it. Was not feeling motivated, was not feeling inspired, was not feeling creative. I just wanted to do my classic, I'm too tired and I'm just not feeling it. I just want to eat some food and watch TV and bludge out. And it's classic resistance on my part because a part of me was feeling annoyed at that. There is a season and a time for relaxing and excuse me, and for taking a break and rejuvenating yourself and refreshing what you need. And at the same time, you also can recognize when it's actually not that time, it's just you procrastinating or resisting showing up because you're scared. And I think that element of fear is always a clue that you're avoiding something. Anyway, so I wanted to come on to talk about my commissions process, but really because I was getting fired up because I actually just showed up, even though I didn't feel like it, to show up on Instagram. So if you check out my Instagram stories, I'm talking about a lot about stuff there, but I wanted to elaborate on it here about how home is not just a place to sleep. It's not just a place to like come home to from work and sit down in front of the TV and eat your dinner and that's it. It's not the place to do your laundry. It is more than that. Home should be a place where you are comfortable and you can relax, but you're comfortable and you can relax because it is a place that is an expression of you. It is a place where you are allowed to fully be yourself. It is a place where you are allowed to relax all those barriers and shoulds and expectations, and a place where you can release all of that and unveil yourself. And it should be a place where you feel loved and you are reminded of the things that you know are true, like you are capable, you are amazing, you are loved, you are seen, you are known, and that you want more, and what your dreams are, and what it is that is a reflection of who you are working towards, as well as who you are now and who you always were. And I think home should be a place for that, whether or not that space is your home, like you're in that traditional terminology of like home where you sleep and your family lives and where you live and where you store all your stuff, right? And so I was just talking and thinking about that and realizing that, yes, because it is what I'm trying to offer, what I am offering with my commissions experience, it's a conscious communion commission. It is not just another pretty painting so that you can make your house look pretty again, although that's totally valid and totally something that my paintings would do for you. And if you don't know me, by the way, welcome to my Facebook page, and I'm Brenda Mangalore. I'm a painter, I'm a traditional creative, and the things that I love talking about is living a life of joyful purpose in connection with your creativity, with your muse. And so whether or not it is with my paintings, so that you can have something that is an anchor in your home as a reminder, as a way for you to reconnect to you and be a visual expression in your space and in your home of who you are, what your intentions are, what your personality is like, what it is that you're working towards, all the things that make up you and your family and your values and your desires, as well as mentoring other creatives to live that kind of life, which means creating the work that you want to create work that you love, to be able to weave your creativity as part of your life and as part of your journey. Let's see, making sure my connection, and it will be a reminder that of what you are working towards, what your higher self is. So in those moments, right, I talk a lot about creating in the mess, that there is beauty in the mess. Art is like faith and love and chaos and structure. There's just crazy, messy, because that's what life throws at us, but that there is beauty in that, provided you have anchors in place. And those anchors are things like your values, you know, your family, what you hold on to, what you respect, what it is that you truly hold in your heart. And home is where the heart is. Isn't just home is where you are loved. It is that feeling of knowing when you are loved and where your heart is. It allows you to fully express yourself in all your quirky, in all your weird, in all your big dreams, and all your daring and audacity to create and be and have and do. And so I'm losing my train of thought now. But yes, so that's where home is and what it can be. And so my paintings is more than that. It's more than that because it's going to remind you, yes, the anchor part, that's what I was coming to. It's an anchor to that, in that mess, when you're in that mess and it feels like overwhelming and paralyzing with all the craziness and all the things that's coming at you. It can be so easy to be overwhelmed, but if you have an anchor in place, if you remember what your intentions are, this applies to like projects and work and jobs and life and laundry and all those kind of things. If you have an anchor in place and you remember what is truly important to you, what it is that you're working towards, it helps you navigate and twist and turn if you need to amongst the messy chaoticness of life and emotions and weaving it all together to create this masterpiece that is your life. But at the same time, as I learned today, and I'm reminded that just as overwhelming and paralyzing can be when you're in that space of nothingness, where it feels like you have nothing to hold on to. You're not too busy and crazy with too many things running around in your head. When there's just this emptiness and you have no ideas and you feel uninspired and you feel basically very disconnected and not present in your life, and you're in this kind of weird floaty space, it can feel just as overwhelming and scary. And the only way to really navigate that is also to have anchors in place, to remember what it is that you're waiting on, especially in that waiting, when you are allowing space and actually doing the work of surrendering and allowing God to work through you, and you're waiting in that space. There's a lot of this kind of empty space. And the only way to not completely freak out and sabotage everything like I was going to try to do today with my work, or like really get completely overwhelmed by resistance and all that inner critic yapping at you, so then you just don't do anything and you just feel miserable, is you have anchors in place. You remember what it is that you're working towards, your intentions, your values, why it is that you are in this place in the first place, and why you are being called to be patient and to trust and to have faith in the process. And that's what my paintings can do for you. My commissions experience is about that conscious communion with your spirituality, what your intentions are, your values, what it is that you're working towards, what it is that your higher self is telling you. So when I come together with my clients, my commission clients, we discuss things like color and where is it going to go and the logistics of those things. But we also really, what I want to talk about is, obviously you resonate with my work and you love my paintings and you love color and you want to make a statement in your home and all those things. But to discuss what it is that resonates with you, what memories is it evoking in you, what is the intention and your higher self is trying to tell you, that you know that this painting that I will create for you will serve as an anchor for? Is it to help remind you and keep you accountable to remember the dreams and the things that you're working towards because you hustle a lot and you get distracted? Or is it an anchor for you to hold on to when you sit in that patient waiting as you're creating this big empire, whatever that is, this masterpiece, this future goal that you're creating in your life? That is the discussion that we have when I work with my commission clients. And so I was thinking about that today, about your home and how it is more than just a place to kind of sleep and hang out and that full expression. And having a painting can do that, right? I have been to home, like, you know, you've been to hotels or Airbnbs and they don't have any art on the walls, and you can tell it's meant to be generic. There's no sense of connection and life to it. It doesn't really feel like a home. And home isn't a place of stuff, because I'm not big on stuff either. I believe that the things that we hold should and have in our home should be functional, but not just functional, but beautiful. And by beautiful, I don't mean just aesthetically, but that they hold meaning for you, that there was an intention to it. There's an intentionality and there's a conscious communion to either a memory or to something about it that resonates within you, or it's a celebration of beauty and creativity, or it's a celebration of something else. It's a milestone marker. There is meaning in it. And so then you're surrounding yourself with things that hold meaning and is also at the same time a reflection of you, and there's a presence of you in it. And I've been watching Queer Eye on Netflix. Definitely check it out. It's a feel-good kind of series, and I'm still in the first season. And a lot of the times when one of the Fab Five, they go into whoever it is that's been nominated, and they, you know, make over the space, as well as the clothes, as well as like their food, as well as like checking out their culture and the way they interact, and hair, which is fantastic. He's my favorite. But talking about the space, it was always about And it always came down to, this doesn't feel like you, or this doesn't feel like the new you, and this doesn't feel like it's a reflection of all of you, because like there were some spaces where it was very much functional and only served one aspect of her life, or it was something that he had lived in a long time with his parents, and his parents have passed away and he just hasn't dared to move anything, and it's kind of stuck in a time capsule, and it was not a true reflection of him. And I'm like, yes, because your spaces and the things that you surround yourself with is important. This is why we talk about decluttering and making sure you're organized and being productive, and your space does influence your inner space as well. And being intentional about it and picking what it is that you have around you, right? Even though it's obviously in my best interest, definitely buy my paintings, but knowing and being intentional about what anchors that you have in place, even if you're having a small space, right? I have a painting with a friend who's also a collector, and she has one of my little paintings in a school bus. That's her home, which is tiny. It's a school bus. And she's obviously living a nomadic life and she's traveling and things, but she can still have beautiful, intentional, even though they're small in size, anchors in her life that celebrates beauty and creativity and her connection with her own creativity and what it is she's hoping for and what it is that she resonates with. And it's a reflection of her and her husband's personality and their love of color and all those things. And so is your home like that? Has it just been a little neglected because, you're busy with life and, it's not really important to have so many things because we don't want to be materialistic, but yet are you being intentional about the things that you bring into your home? And instead of adding more things to decorate, right? I mean, as much as I love decorating, I prefer to have big things. Ugh. Sorry about all the interruptions, but like visual and physical, because we are physical beings. We live in this 3-dimensional space, and having actual visual things, because if you have the gift of sight, visuals is a big part of how we interact and connect and gain and consume information in this life. Like whether or not you are very visual like me, or you're more audio, or you prefer touch and you're more kinetic and all those kind of things, but visual things, it does affect you, even if it's subconscious, because it affects the energy and vibration and essence and climate of a space that you come in. Just like you can come into a room and feel like, oh, that's a prison. That's what a prison feels like. Versus you come into a room and goes, this feels homely. People laugh and love and connect and create beautiful things here. And you can feel that by walking in there. And a lot of that can be created by being intentional about the visuals that you have in your home. And so we're looking around your home, right? Instead of picking paintings that you go, oh, that's pretty, why not have things in your home that is intentional, reflects your heart and soul, and resonates within you in a much deeper way than just that surface level of, oh, that's pretty. As well as being able to choose something that was created just for you to reflect you, where you are in this current season of your life, where it is that you're working towards the bigger vision of who you are and who you were always meant to be, like your highest, best self, who you are when you commune in your best spirituality relationship with God, who you are when you cultivate that deep relationship with your creativity, that part of you, that reflection of that personality, as well as with your family. And I totally get that. How do you bring all of that together? And if my paintings do resonate with you and you love my work, there is a way to work with me in a much deeper way that is more personalized, instead of just picking another painting that you go, oh, I love it. And definitely collect artwork, because I believe artwork is a way to really give you those simple anchors that you can hold on to remind you of the beauty in the world, to remind you to reconnect back to what it is that you hold that is valuable, especially when life feels crazy and chaotic, or especially when you're feeling lost and disconnected and you're waiting really patiently for God to come in and you're surrendering to the moment and you feel like you're really lost out there in space. Art can do that. And whether your art is the clothes that you wear, the furniture that you buy, the things that you interact with daily. If painting is one of those things and you're looking around your home and one of those things is your visual space, because I talk about it as your visual library, it does infect your psyche in a good way. It can be in a good way, or it could be in a not so good way. Are you adding color to that? Are you being reminded daily when you have your morning coffee of what it is that you're working towards, what your intentions are, what your values are, what it is that you would have discussed with me if you commissioned a painting with me, the things that you are dreaming of, the things that you hope to create, that energy and vibration and climate that you want to create in that space, obviously whether it's your home or office, whatever that is, definitely message me. My calendar is open for the rest of this year. I'm booking out for the rest of this year for commissions. There's only literally a handful of spots because in this season of life I can only take on so much, and I'm going to be focusing on other projects in my business. This is the time, especially if you're looking at Christmas. 2019, is this the year that you're going to create a home that is a true reflection of you, instead of just ignoring it and kind of like, I'll get to it later, and later never kind of comes. Let your home be more than just a space to store your stuff and to sleep and to eat dinner and just to hang out after work. Your home can be a place to fully express yourself. It can be a temple for what you worship and your spirituality and your creativity and your connection to your best self, as well as an expression of who you are as a family, as yourself, as who you want to be. Your home can be a space for that. So when you invite people in, they come in, they can feel you at your best self, the you that you are now and the you that you are going to become. And if that resonates with you, my commissions are open. Definitely message me to get a link to schedule a discovery call, because obviously we have to chat and check that we're a good fit and we understand each other. But otherwise, I just want to leave you with this because I've got to do daycare pickup. Literally 1 minute. Talk about divine timing. This is the perfect time. Thinking about Christmas and holidays and ending this year having created that space and created an anchor for yourself to start that domino effect of being intentional and mindful with not just the things in your life, because I know when I'm mindful about my space and the way I curate like my studio and decluttering my kitchen lately, it's rippling out to other areas of my life, like my relationships, and decluttering what it is I don't want to do, and decluttering what I don't want to be thinking all the time, and the stories I used to tell myself, because I'm telling myself stories when I'm not getting rid of stuff that I've been holding on to for a long time. And then being intentional about bringing in things that hold meaning for me and that feels beautiful, and not just aesthetically and visually, but beautiful because it reminds me of my best self. It reminds me of the life that I'm trying to create, not just for myself, but for my children and all those things, right? Got less than a minute. Definitely message me. My conscious communion commissions are open. It's a conscious communion because we are consciously and mindfully communion, not just with each other and making sure it's a soul kind of connection, but also our spirituality, our best selves, all those things that I love talking about, as well as so that we can make sure I can create something that reflects your heart, your soul, your sense of creativity, and creating that kind of masterpiece that's going to be your life and your home. Let me know and message me in my Facebook page or on Instagram. Otherwise, I will see you next time. That's right. I wanted to say, just take a moment today, this week, to look around your home, declutter and clear out at least 1 or 2 things that you know you've been holding on to and you don't know why, and let that go and be consciously choosing what it is. And then asking yourself, what do you have around you that reflects who you are, who you want to be, that serves as an anchor or a daily reminder that you are loved, that you are seen, that you have a spiritual divine connection that reflects your values and who you are dreaming to become, because we're more than just who we are today, and more than just our jobs, and more than just our hobbies. We are this beautiful, unique blend of all of those things. What is something that in your home that reflects that? Make sure you cherish it and connect with it. And if you don't, how can you intentionally bring some of that in? And this comes in more than just paintings on your walls and photographs in frames and stuff and actually putting it up. It's also things like your clothes and your accessories and the blankets that you have and the textures that you have and the smells that you have around your home, and whether or not you have enough light and all those kind of things. Let me know in the comments below. Otherwise, message me about conscious communion commissions. I'm just struggling to talk today. And get onto my calendar to get the link. It's a 15-minute discovery call. We can get all the information, pricing and all that kind of stuff, and logistics, and just to make sure that we kind of click and we're right for each other. And what was it? Get on the calendar, and I will see you guys next time. Let me know, share your spaces. What is it that you need to get rid of it? What is it that you need to bring more into your life? And I hope that I can work with you. Otherwise, remember that you are creative. You are a muse. Dare to take that seriously. Dare to cultivate your relationship with your creativity and take the next baby step today, because you're more than just a dreamer. You are a doer. You are a muse when you inspire others with what you do and what you create, as well as when you're being inspired by the beauty and love and light around you. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye.